Wonderful. Well, welcome to Northern Powerhouses Business Success Stories. This morning we have Rob Mackle of Assured Data Protection with us. Rob, if you'd be kind enough to introduce yourself and your business to the audience.
Yeah, good morning. Rob Mackle, Managing Director of Assured Data Protection. My role is, obviously as an MD, is to make sure that our business is successful, that we have good staff, we have good service lines, we're profitable, so our business can continue to invest and grow. And my remit is to look after EMEA and APAC of Assured Data Protection.
Great. So exciting time. I'm sure exciting times. So looking back over the last 8 to 9 months, how has the COVID outbreak affected you?
To say it hasn't affected us would be a fib. It definitely has had an impact, but the way in which our business is structured, being a global company with headquarter and 2 office locations in the UK and the US, we're actually geared up to work at different time zones and also remotely. So I guess fortunately for us, we have the ability to work from home. We can work just as efficiently and effectively from home. Yes, we miss out on the office atmosphere and that buzz you get being around people, but our customers continue to get the same level of service. But yeah, it's not affected us too much due to the nature of how we operate. Great.
And I guess as a leader, how have you adapted your management style for the remote situation?
Yeah, good question. Like I said, we're already geared up for this kind of world. The way in which we deliver our services, we leverage data centers, we leverage the cloud for hosting our infrastructure as well. So we don't have a huge amount in our offices other than a place where people can come together and collaborate.
Yep.
We also give people a lot of freedom in our business. We're not you have to be in the office 9 to 5 kind of company. We give flexibility, whether that's an admin person or a salesperson or someone in technical. We have great variety and flexibility in how we let people work.
Great. Oh, wonderful. And on the whole, has the outbreak been a positive thing or negative for you as a business?
I don't think anyone can say it's been positive, but we've had a lot of positives during the time since February of this year. We've done a few blogs online recently about how success we've been having, and our business continues to grow. We're luckily and fortunately in a booming market where data protection is extremely important. Data is the lifeblood of all businesses. So what we do in being able to protect it, back it up, recover it if and when needed, whether that's due to human error or hardware failing or something more cynical like a cyber attack or ransomware.
Yes.
These threats actually drive our business to do better. So yeah, we're definitely in the right place in terms of protecting people's data.
Brilliant. It sounds like you're fairly well set up to deal with the sort of COVID situation, but are there any key adaptations you've had to make as a result of it?
Again, being able to predict, if you like, what might happen or what might not happen. So what I really mean by that is, if you're used to everyone being in the office day in, day out, maybe think from now on that, imagine that you can't go into the office, almost like a disaster recovery of some sort. How do you continue to operate? How do your customers still get the same level of service? So fortunately, we're in that position where we were already doing it. Yeah. But we have learned quite a few things about more flexibility of working, collaboration tools, being agile essentially. One of our challenges has been deploying our solutions during these times. We have a global customer base, and typically we would send an engineer on a plane or in a car to site to deploy and configure and give the customer that experience they expect. We haven't had that luxury, so we've been doing majority of work remotely.
Yep.
We've been using courier companies, we've been building it in-house and then shipping it on airplanes and all kinds of things to get it to the locations, whether that's China or Singapore or Australia, wherever it might be. We've been doing that remotely, which has been, again, a challenge, and it makes you realise maybe you don't need to put an engineer on a plane to deploy a solution.
Yeah, it's almost like a microcosm of, do I need to actually drive to my office? It's like, do I actually need to go around the world or something? Yeah, fascinating. Because I can see that you, as you say, work globally. So that must be, I guess, did you see things change more quickly with things happening overseas before they started happening in the UK? Did that affect your business, or what changes did you have to make? Obviously, we had China first. Italy was hit really badly. How did that affect you?
The sales cycle has been affected for sure. Uncertainty of what's happening, when's it going to impact you. It's meant that businesses have stopped spending essentially where unnecessary spend. So projects were put on hold, timescales have slipped. That obviously impacts your forecasting and is when's the money going to come in, when you're going to land your contracts. But if you know you've got a good product, you know it's going to happen. You've just got to stay patient and don't push the customers to try and sign deals that they're not ready for. You just got to be understanding of the situation, be ready to deploy it when the customer's ready. And yeah, essentially that's what we have been in that fortunate position to do so.
It's great. It's a great point, isn't it? It's working to their timescales, not ours. Obviously, we're all managing cash flow. We all love them to sign right now, but yeah, if it's not right for them, then there's no point trying to make something happen that's not, and potentially affect the relationship. So that makes perfect sense. So what sort of key wins have you seen over this last eight to 9 months?
So in our industry, our sales cycles varied, let's call it that. So we might have a customer or a prospect that comes to us and they sign a contract within 1 month because they're desperately in need. But some of our sales cycles are years, and everything in between. We have definitely seen it slip slightly in terms of most people, especially if it's coming up towards Christmas time as an example, they won't do it over Christmas, so they'll either deploy before or after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say the sales cycle has slipped a little. But there's a couple of situations where it's brought it forward because they can't go into the office or they can't get to the data center. They can't go and change their tapes, which is a pretty old technique now. But these have brought to light that actually automation and services, because we deliver a service, that actually enables people to continue operating and protecting their data. So that's driven actually more sales in a certain way for us as well. So yeah, there's been pros and cons, I'd say, of this situation that we're in.
That's fascinating. You mentioned tapes. Goodness, that is interesting about sort of technology. My background was in software engineering, and I remember having to change years ago. It was like a 5-disc platter and sort of open and close. I guess that I guess the data. So that's interesting. So technology obviously has changed over time, but you're having to deal with a whole range of different. It sounds like technologies to support them, depending on what the client currently has.
Yeah, so I've been selling online backup since 2005, so straight out of university, and it was the challenge then was promising and getting people to trust you with their data. No one wanted to send data offsite, and now companies can't get it offsite quick enough. That they're wanting to move everything to the cloud, whether it's the right or the wrong thing for the business. Everyone knows about the cloud. It's been there a very long time, and everyone's aware of that. So yeah, it's been a very interesting time in the last 15 years. The other co-founders of the business, they're actually more experienced than me. They've been selling these kind of solutions for a very long time. So we're vastly experienced at delivering backup and disaster recovery. And we've all come together with this new way. And our new solution and offering, which is nearly 5 years old now, is cloud ready. It was built in the cloud era. And that's why we're so agile nowadays to deploy things remotely, for example.
Brilliant. Very exciting times. It's I'd love to learn more. So just thinking about any adjustments you've made, and clearly it sounds like you were ready anyway, but are there any adjustments that you've had to make that you'll keep doing as we get to back to whatever a new normal looks like?
So, I mean, we do a huge amount online. We all use the likes of Zoom and Teams to communicate. It's given us a lot more time to strategize, to think about strategy, both near term and long term, review our service lines. We've actually created a new one in this period of time, which sometimes you don't get the opportunity to reflect and think, are we missing the boat? Is there another service line we could offer? So that's coming to market early next year. We've productized quite a few things and we've expanded heavily. So unfortunately for some, they've been putting people on furlough for obvious reasons. We've gone completely the other way. We've doubled our workforce in the last 12 months.
Oh, wow.
globally. And that's not just in sales, that's in engineering support and development as well, because some of our products have needed further development. So yeah, it's been exciting times, not just because of how we've had to adapt and work and change. And our customers, we've taken on some really big customers in the last 6 months. But yeah, we've had to invest heavily in our team. We've never been busier, in all honesty.
It's great news to hear, and we know many businesses, especially many sectors, are more challenged than others. But it's just great to know that people are expanding through challenging times, and so really well done. That's wonderful to hear. Just think again, if you go back to March and when things hit, is there anything that you, in hindsight been a wonderful thing, anything in hindsight you'd have done sooner?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, we're in a fortunate position where our business is successful, touch wood, and we continue to grow. And we probably reassess quite a lot, and we do a lot more with our partners than we did before.
Yes.
We've done a lot more digital. So typically our events were all in person because you had the luxury to do it.
Yeah.
But now we've obviously adapted, and we do a huge amount online in terms of our marketing. So we're doing lots of fun events as well, not just come to a webinar and we'll show you a product and what it does, but making it fun. So doing cheese and wine tasting or gin or cocktail making is the next one we're doing. And what we're seeing there is we're educating people in what our services can deliver and the benefits, but that's probably only 30% of the time in that webinar. We're actually having fun, and people are opening up about their situation, their concerns, what their problems might be, and how we might be able to help them as well.
That's brilliant. And what we found is that because you don't have the physical logistical issues, we can do more frequently bite-sized chunks, if that makes sense. And if you're going to hire, let's say, a hotel or something to do an event, it feels like it's got to be a day or at least half a day. But with a webinar, with some fun, it can be an hour or even half an hour of something. So I think that the frequency of communication is lends itself to online. So that's fascinating. And clearly, you being global, that's a great thing to be able to do, bring so many different people together. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest parts to the current world is staff. We used to have regular meals out or drinks out, whatever it might be.
Yeah,
you do miss that relationship, that camaraderie with the team. So we've been trying to do regular things like quizzes online on Zoom. And we also just did recently an escape room type approach where we had all of the team on for EMEA, and it was called Rogue Agent, and we all broke out into teams and we were competing against each other. And that's quite a fun way. Normally you do that physically, but it was quite a good adaptation to a virtual world that we live in today.
That's fascinating. Funnily enough, one of our clients runs escape rooms and an online game. They've also got now an outdoor equivalent using virtual and augmented reality. So it's fascinating. And that whole getting people together, but doing stuff online can be, I guess, I mean, I'm personally quite a people person. It feels like you probably are too. And it felt like the lockdown and being remote meant it would be massively changed how we communicate. But I don't think it really does. I think we can still do so many things we did. We're just not physically in their presence. And I think that was a big learning for us.
Yeah, we built our business back in 2015, 2016, because we missed working together. So multiple of us came back together. Simon, who's our CEO, he pulled everyone together and said, let's go again and let's create a really cool company off the back of a really good product, which we use, called Rubric, who's our vendor. And really, we just like working together. We're all good friends. We enjoy success. We work hard, but we play hard as well. We have fun along the way.
Brilliant.
Like today.
And a great environment. I noticed you, obviously probably not today, but you're based at Harewood House, which is a wonderful place. We nearly moved into offices there many years ago. We didn't in the end, but what a wonderful location to come to when you can.
It is. Unfortunately, we've only been able to go in a few times at the moment in the last 6 months, but it's a great location. There's no traffic there. It's peaceful. There's plenty of space if you want some fresh air. And yeah, it's a good location for us because our catchment area for our employment is from Doncaster really out towards Huddersfield Way and north of Harrogate as well. So we've got a fairly large catchment area. Again, that's why we have let people work from home sometimes and also come into this hub whenever possible. But yeah, Harewood's a great location for us. Yeah.
It's quite funny. My daughters went to Kirby Overblow Primary School, which is not very far geographically. And being a little bit of an amateur birdwatcher as a kid, it's like you see the kites, which obviously are based at Harwood and started there. And you know, I rave about them, and they're just, oh, yeah, it's just another bird. It's great when they come in. So just I guess thinking about we're in the second lockdown, we're nearly out of it. Was there any impact on you? How did you feel going into the second one?
There wasn't a huge amount. We had started going back into the office once a week in our teams, whether it's sales or tech or management. So that was quite nice. We obviously put a stop on that for obvious reasons that if you can work from home, please do. So we have done that. So that's the main difference, really. We can't go in, but we're all living with it. It's not the worst position to be in for us. We regularly communicate. So that's the main difference, really. We can't physically see each other, but yeah, we've never been busier in terms of pipeline, lead gen, customer additions to the team. So yeah, it's all going well, luckily, touch wood.
Really, really great to hear. And you're just thinking about coming out of lockdown into a new norm, probably not into the new year, but what are you most looking forward to?
Going out and seeing customers. Customer satisfaction is really important for us. Our business is annuity, so it's recurring revenue, but it's service as importantly. So we have to make sure customers are happy, and we do what we can at the moment. But we do like to do quarterly business reviews in person. Our channel, our partners, we often go into their offices. That's when you really start to learn and build relationships. So we do miss that 100%. I haven't been into London since February, for example, and we used to go twice a week. So it's very different not travelling far afield. That is for sure. Yeah.
It's a strange thing, isn't it? I'm sort of not quite as frequently, but I do get out quite a lot, and it's it was nice, but it's also nice not to. And it's sort of, I guess it's taking the small pleasures out of things. And what if anything, what have you learned about yourself over this period?
Good question. I've had quite a lot of time to reflect, look at strategy again, rather than just the day-to-day grind of finding new customers, finding new opportunities, making sure everyone's happy. It has given us time to reflect, build the team out properly. Like I said, we've actually taken a step back and realised we could offer a new service line. We could develop this further. And what we've now found is we've recruited heavily. Whereas we might not have done that potentially if we were kept business as usual.
Yeah. It's great to hear that you're doing it. So many, and you know what we're finding is there's so many great people out there. Unfortunately, because of things like furlough and potential redundancy, but there's great people out there, and the marketplace right now for recruitment is a great place to be. I think to find amazing people that perhaps in normal times would have little interest in looking elsewhere, but there is an opportunity for great growing businesses like yours to attract amazing people that, as I say, probably were off the market previously.
Yeah, absolutely agree. If you're looking to expand your business, there's some great talent out there. We've taken on some senior key members, which, they've been in companies for 20 years, but now they've had the opportunity to move on. And that's been to our benefit, really. So yeah, again, fortunate to be in the right position at the right time to offer them a new challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like everything's going amazing. If there are only challenges moving forward, the other side of lockdown and with growth, what might they be that you're looking at?
Oh, yeah, good question. I can't foresee any, to be honest. We've had a few issues with supply. If we're going to go into real granular detail, we require hardware to run our service and our software on. So sometimes we've had delays in supply because things get built in China or wherever they are. Couriers and shipping, etc., has a knock-on effect. So yeah, we have seen that. So you've just got to, as a business, be aware if you've got a new customer starting, have you got enough hardware in stock to provision it? So yeah, all these kind of things, these logistical things, you need to factor in and consider.
I guess
yeah,
sorry, please go on.
No, absolutely, finished.
I'll just say, so it's almost like affecting that whole just-in-time sort of idea that yeah, if we start to have gaps. It's a great point. And you know, you mentioned China. Obviously, they were first affected, so I would imagine that we have to be more wary. You be more wary of what you need when, and as you say, plan more. I guess that makes perfect sense. So I mean, great, really fascinating everything you're doing and great. So what would you? How do you see the future? What does the future look like for you and Assured?
Well, we will continue to do what we do. We've been selling these kind of services for a long time. We're in a very fortunate position that we jumped on a technology when it was very new, built a company around the technology as our core tech and wrap our services around. And it's proven to be a very good decision because they're now top right in Gartner's Magic Quadrant. They're the leader and we're their biggest and first MSP. So we're in a fortunate position that we've got the right tech, the right team, the right infrastructure. So we've got all the platform in place to take this company on and grow and get more people into the company to grow with us. Yeah, we're here for a long time for sure. We're looking to grow this company in the right way.
Wonderful. Rob, I really appreciate you spending time. I know you're a busy guy, and just, you know, it's great to hear another local business is doing so well. Obviously, it's a global business, but you know, the UK aren't being based in Yorkshire, and that you're doing so well. It'd be great maybe to come back and speak to you in 6 to 12 months and just see again the next level of wins and how growth that's happening, if that's okay.
Absolutely, anytime.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Rob. And I can imagine I'll keep an eye out on the press for more and more wins going on with you guys.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Thank you.